Welcome back from the break. You're watching NewsX and I'm Asavri Jindal. UPSC Chairman Dr. Ajay Kumar has addressed the controversy and confusion surrounding the Civil Service Preliminary Examination 2026 after many aspirants described the paper as unusually difficult, lengthy and unpredictable. The examination triggered widespread debate among candidates across social media platforms, with many questioning the nature and source of several analytical and situation-based questions. Responding to these concerns, Dr. Ajay Kumar has said that the release of the provisional answer key would provide clarity to the candidates. He acknowledged that this year's examination felt particularly challenging for many aspirants and assured them that the Commission understands their concerns. Joining us to take this conversation are many UPSC aspirants. We're being joined by Ms. Pia Bhatia, UPSC aspirant, Mr. Amar Mehta from Sasaram, Bihar, as well as Mr. Sonu Kumar. Pia, let me come to you first, and I'd like to understand from you. Since when have you been preparing for the UPSC examination, and why are people deeming this to be the toughest prelims exam?
Hi, Asri. Thanks for having me. So I've been in this process for about 2 years now, and see, I won't call the paper tough because there's a difference. It's tough when you know that such a fact existed and maybe you haven't prepared well for it. But this paper was completely arbitrary. It was random, I would say, and off the syllabus. So traditionally, UPSC has always tested conceptual clarity there and some interlinkages, and PYQ themes get repeated. But in this case, the pattern changed completely with no prior intimation, no sample paper. They included topics like ethics, which have never been asked before without any prior intimation. Reduced the weightage of very core subjects like polity, modern history, geography. Traditionally, they asked about 20 questions from each of these topics. This time you were hunting for questions from polity or geography. There were like 5 to 7. Out of them, only 2 were from traditional books. So I would say it was not tough. It was an arbitrary paper and completely random, which tests your luck more than your hard work.
Okay, all right. So, Amar, let me come to you now, because what Pia is essentially saying that it was not a tough paper, but it was rather arbitrary, and there were certain questions that one was not even anticipating. Are you of the same opinion?
Actually, yes, ma'am. The paper was very unconventional, and the resources we are having in the market and on ourselves, they are like we can't expect after reading those sources and solve the questions that was asked in this attempt.
Okay.
So, either I have to change my source to tackle those questions. We don't know actually. We are in a completely in a silent mode now.
Okay, you do elaborate on that as well, because of course we want to know what it is that the aspirants are feeling after giving the paper, where you say that many of the questions that you were attempting were arbitrary, they were unconventional. That's essentially the feeling that people have. Give us your opinion on that front. Where did you find it challenging? Where did you feel that the question paper was framed in a way that was not specific to your curriculum per se?
Ma'am, in all 100 questions, they used to ask 80 questions from static books. But in this attempt, the questions they asked was the conventional books which we used to read, like Lakshmikant for modern India, Spectrum for ancient, Nitin Singhania. These books are we can't solve the questions in the way they frame in this attempt with those resources. The question was very factual. It was extremely factual actually. We know the Nobel Prize winner and the topics, but we don't know the in which country they are born, and it was too factual. And the sources we used to read from the magazines and all, we can't solve those questions from that sources. That I found very difficult. The paper was very lengthy. Even they add ethics question in GS prelims paper 1.
Right.
Though the question was like question was easy, but it took time. Like we have to attempt in 120 minutes. So that was challenging for us.
Okay, all right. I'm also being joined by Mr. Sonu Kumar, who appeared for the UPSC Prelims Examination 2026. Sonu, अगर आप मेरी आवाज़ सुन पा रहे हैं, we want to understand from you how exactly have you seen the paper that was released this year, the attempt that you gave.
हेलो
सोनू जी, मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है आपको?
जी मैम जी आ रही है आपकी
जी
आवाज।
बिल्कुल, हमें बताइए, आपने अपना एग्जामिनेशन दिया है प्रीलिम्स का, आप क्या सोचते हैं इस पेपर के बारे में? बहुत कठिन था या फिर मतलब सवालों के बारे में आप क्या बोलना चाहते हैं? ये पेपर कैसे स्ट्रक्चर हुआ है आपके हिसाब से?
जी मैम ये पेपर जो था यूपीएससी का खासकर ये बहुत ही अनकन्वेंशनल था और काफी अनएक्सपेक्टेड था पेपर ये, और बहुत सारे ऐसे क्वेश्चंस थे जो आउट ऑफ सिलेबस थे, है ना, और जो हमारे कोर सब्जेक्ट थे खासकर उससे टोटली ये मूव ऑन था कहीं ना कहीं। और ये खासकर करंट में 30 से 35 क्वेश्चन आ जाना, और जो कि लग रहा था कि ऐसा कि हम लोग करंट अफेयर का ही एग्जाम दे रहे हैं, तो ये हम लोग के लिए बहुत ही ज्यादा चैलेंजिंग था।
सोनू जी, मेरे
और
को एक
लेकिन
एग्जाम्पल
हाँ,
दीजिए। ये जो क्वेश्चन पेपर्स की आप बात कर रहे हैं, एक एग्जाम्पल दीजिए, कोई ऐसा हमको क्वेश्चन बताइए जो पेपर में था जिसको देख के आप भी हैरान परेशान रह गए कि ये तो हमको लगा भी नहीं था कि आएगा।
जैसे कि मैम कई सारे क्वेश्चन थे, जैसे कि एआई से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन उसमें आया था, वो भी काफी मतलब इतना हम लोग नहीं कभी भी करंट अफेयर में इतना स्टडी नहीं किया जाता है कि और उसके ऑप्शन पे ऑप्शन काफी लेंथी उसका स्पेक्ट्रम था, चाहे एआई पे हो चाहे जो भी कुछ म्यूजिक पे करंट अफेयर से रिलेटेड उस टाइम पे सब पे कहीं ना कहीं लेंथी था उसमें बहुत ज्यादा। तो ये सब कहीं ना कहीं चैलेंजेस थे।
जी बिल्कुल। Pia, I'll come to you over here because I want to understand from you. You know, the UPSC chairman has come out and he's taken cognizance of the fact that the paper was, it was difficult. He's made that statement. But I'd also like to understand from you. You know, one side of the argument is that the UPSC is the toughest examination to crack, and there's a good reason for that. Because it is a matter of governance. But on the other side, of course, students are saying that the paper was unconventional, there were certain questions that were not even expected. So as an aspirant, how exactly do you view this dilemma?
Yeah, so Savri, the chairman, did acknowledge the fact that it was a challenging paper, but how does that help with aspirants whose this was the last attempt for a few aspirants? They completely wasted their attempt because of the nature of the paper, right? They can't get their attempt back, firstly. And secondly, they should do something about the paper. I mean, just acknowledging is not enough. You should normalize the scores or take some steps. And you were asking about some of the unconventional questions that were asked. I can tell you one of them. They asked, so traditionally we are supposed to know if someone has received the Nobel Prize for something, we need to understand for what technology or for what is the reason, how does that work or contribute to the society. We are not expected to know the biography of the person receiving the Nobel Prize. It said X is a person who was born in the UK, and while receiving the prize, he was teaching in an American university as a professor. Identify X. Now, we're supposed to know the biographies of all the people who have ever received the Nobel Prize. I don't think UPSC has ever tested that. So this is one of the absurd questions that were asked, and I can give you plenty examples because 60% of the paper was absurd. And as far as the dilemma is concerned, I would like to say that as aspirants, we are not afraid of working hard. We take a very informed decision to appear for this paper, and we understand that it is one of the toughest exams there is to exist, but it is only tough when you have a defined syllabus and a pattern, and not when you randomly ask anything under the sun. That is more a test of luck than a test of governance or how good of an administrator you could be. Because in this paper, I think they tested which students' stars aligned on that particular day rather than who was the most hardworking student or who was the most disciplined throughout the year. So if the nature of this paper becomes so arbitrary that you have to take drop years to like see if your stars align on that particular day, then I don't know if they're choosing good administrators or just the lucky ones.
Okay, so what is your appeal then?
Sorry?
What is your appeal then, Pia? What exactly is your appeal then?
Appeal is to define the syllabus firstly. You can ask whatever you want to, but at least tell us what to study. We're not afraid of working hard. Otherwise, we would not have chosen this paper to start with. So define the syllabus, make it more transparent. If you are changing the pattern, you release a sample paper, tell us that these are the sort of questions that we're planning on asking, and make it more transparent, the process. See, I would also like to appreciate that this is the first time that UPSC has released a provisional answer key. Otherwise, they used to release the answer key after the whole cycle of the exam was over, so no one could even challenge it. So after around 1 year, they used to release the answer key. But this is a step towards transparency, and my appeal is to make the process more transparent and basically define the syllabus.
Okay, interesting. Amar, I'll come to you over here because, of course, what Pia has spoken about is the fact that we want more transparency, but at the same time, somewhere or the other, she's also appreciated when she says that the answer key is now coming out at a much earlier date than before. Where exactly do you see all of this? If you had to make an appeal today, what would it be? And is there some sort of a change that you feel would be better for this sort of a format?
I believe UPSC should define syllabus first. They should release at least sample paper of few questions, like when they are going to change the pattern in such drastic way, so that students should, aspirants should have that kind of notion that they are going to face these type of questions, and at least do that. I mean, we are preparing for so many years, and we have our sources, and we have our PYQs, and we have our PYQs, and we are solving it. But you are changing it in such a drastic way. So first define it, define the syllabus, and if you are changing the pattern in such a drastic way, at least release few sample questions that this type of questions you are going to ask, so that we should know कि हमें केवल नोबेल प्राइज के बारे में ही नहीं जानना है, बल्कि जो जीत रहे हैं उन्हें उनके बारे में भी जानना है. एटलीस्ट हमें उसका आइडिया होना चाहिए, तो हम और ज़्यादा फैक्चुअल पढ़ पाएंगे अपने आगे के अटेम्प्ट्स के लिए.
जी बिल्कुल. सोनू, मैं आपके पास आऊँगी अभी, और मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँगी कि अब पेपर तो आपने दे दिया है, बट आगे की बात करें, यूपीएससी एग्ज़ाम होता रहेगा, आपको क्या चेंजेस लगते हैं जो इन्फोर्स करे जा सकते हैं, जिस पे दिमाग लगाया जा सकता है कि टू मेक इट मोर स्ट्रक्चर्ड सो दैट स्टूडेंट्स नो व्हाट दे शुड बी डूइंग?
मैंने क्या है कि इसमें तीन चार ऐसे पॉइंट है जो इसके यूपीएससी को भी कहीं ध्यान देना चाहिए. पहला यह है कि एग्जाम और गेमिंग में अंतर होता है, दोनों को डिफाइन करना चाहिए कि मतलब ये गेम नहीं है. हम लोग को जैसे गेम में लक जिसका काम कर गया हुआ है, जैसे कि कोई तुक्का मार गया है तो उसका लक अगर ठीक ठाक है तो हो गया, तो ऐसा नहीं. क्योंकि इस बीच में क्या हो रहा है, जो अच्छे से तैयारी करता है ना उसको बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम होने वाली है, क्योंकि ये लक बेस्ड एग्जाम हुआ है अभी जो भी हुआ है. तो इस पे थोड़ी सी मतलब ये करना चाहिए. दूसरा एक ये है कि जो लेंदी में पेपर बहुत ज्यादा लेंदी है, और टाइम जो हम लोग का लिमिटेड रहता है. जैसे मैं एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ आपको कि पहले जो पेपर होगा था ना लास्ट ईयर, जैसे मान ले, तो उसमें 44 पेज पढ़ना पड़ता था ऑलमोस्ट, तो इसके आसपास. अभी हम लोग को लगभग 60 पेज पढ़ना पड़ रहा है, और टाइम उतना ही लिमिट रहता है. तो फिर उस बीच में पढ़ना और इतना लेंदी पेपर को सॉल्व करना कहीं ना कहीं हम लोग को बहुत ज्यादा चैलेंजिंग हो जा रहा है. तो ये एक कंसर्न है. और दूसरा ये है कि जैसे कि कई पेपर आप आउट ऑफ सिलेबस मत दो, आप सिलेबस से दो. जो आपका सिलेबस आपने डिफाइन किया है, अगर कुछ और ऐड करना है तो आप उसमें सिलेबस ऐड कर दो
जी.
फिर उसके अंदर में कहीं ना कहीं आप उस पर क्वेश्चन पूछो. आपको टफ करना है तो उसमें टफ करो, आप सिलेबस के अंदर में टफ करो, ना कि आप ऐसा जो बेतुका सवाल है, बेहुदा किस्म के कुछ सवाल सवाया है जो कि कहीं ना कहीं नहीं होना चाहिए. और तो एक इस तरह के जो लग रहा है कि जैसे कि हम लोग गेमिंग कर रहे हैं, लक बेस्ड एग्जाम दे रहे हैं, तो इससे कहीं ना कहीं बचना चाहिए। ये 2-3 पॉइंट मुझे ऐसा लगा जिससे यूपीएससी को कहीं ना कहीं ज्यादा ध्यान देना चाहिए। जो इतने सारे बुक है जो डिफाइंड है, टेक्स्ट बुक वगैरह हो गया, जैसे कि यूपीएससी के चेयरमैन भी एक ट्वीट किया तो उसमें लिखा था कि टेक्स्ट बुक से दिया गया, कोई 2 क्वेश्चन दे देने से, टेक्स्ट बुक से अगर 2 क्वेश्चन आगे, इसका अर्थ ये नहीं कि आपने टेक्स्ट बुक से दिया है, नहीं कि और भी तो क्वेश्चन बच रहे हैं, कम से कम 90 क्वेश्चन। ये तो आपका अजीब टाइप का क्वेश्चन है, जो
जी
बेतुका टाइप का क्वेश्चन। तो इससे कहीं ना कहीं उनको फोकस करना चाहिए ताकि सिलेबस डिफाइंड हो, और जो टेक्स्ट बुक आप कह रहे हैं वहां से क्वेश्चन आए, और
ओके
उसमें आप अगर टफ करना है, आपको कंपटीशन कम करना है, तो उसमें आप करें, ना कि ऐसा क्वेश्चन जिसका कोई कोई तर्क ही ना हो, इलॉजिकल क्वेश्चन हो, ऐसा क्वेश्चन को मतलब उनको करना चाहिए, जिससे कहीं ना कहीं एक अच्छे सिविल सर्वेंट भी आगे आए उसको सुनकर,
ओके
ना कि ऐसे लक लेता आ जाए जिसको वो आगे कुछ करना पड़े देश के लिए, तो ऐसा कुछ।
All right. Pia Bhatia, Aman Mehta, and Sonu Kumar, I'd like to thank all three of you for joining us on the broadcast, sharing your perspectives with us, and telling us exactly how you felt after giving the examinations. Let's wait and watch what happens next. But thank you for sharing your perspectives.